Shalom, family. Mishpaka. Hope y'all are enjoying your Sukkot, right? This year, we're keeping it, and Yahuwah has been blessing us with wisdom and understanding. He's definitely been speaking a lot of things to us, so we're grateful for that. Just wanted to come before y'all today with a word that the Ruach gave me a while ago. I want to say like sometime in the summer regarding Hebraic love. One of the most important things our people have to do coming into this truth is unlearn what we learned in Christianity regarding what love is, right? Because it's not an emotional love. It's not, it's not the term agape love. That's not the love that Yahuwah is talking about. So I'll give you an example. One of the most commonly misquoted, misunderstood verses in the Bible is for Yahuwah, for Yah so loved the world that he sent or he gave his only begotten son, right? Again, that love is not agape love, and that world is not the reckless world, right? It's not the lawless world that we're told in 1 John not to love, right? Remember 1 John 2:15-17, love not the world. So if Yahuwah loved that world so much, right, why would it say in 1 John for us to not love the world? Because it's two totally different worlds he's talking about. The world that is talked about in John 3:16 is really the order, right? Yahuwah's order, which is his house. So that word love, Hebraically, that word is 3 Hebrew letters, right? It's the word ahava, which breaks down to aleph, hey, bet, right? So aleph being the ox, the strong leader of the house, right? The hey, which it has a picture of a man with his hands raised up. It's the idea of looking towards something. And then the bet, right, which we know is the house or inn, right? So when you put those three together, the understanding of Hebraic love, right, is the picture of one looking towards the house. You could also say it's the picture of someone looking to provide for the house. It's action based. It's not emotional. It's not an emotional thing, right? If you're married, you have a family, right? Regardless of how your emotions are, you get up and go to work. You get up and you do whatever it is the Most High has blessed you with to do work-wise, to provide for your family, right? If you don't do that, the Bible calls you worse than an infidel, which is an unbeliever, right? One who is not following. And I just wanted to point this out because there's a big difference between Hebrew thought and Greek English thought. Hebrew thought, Hebraic thought is concrete, meaning that you literally can go back to the Aleph Bet and find specific definitions, right? Concrete definitions for these words. But in English and in Greek, you might have 10, 20 definitions for one word, and they all mean something different. In the Hebrew, they all have concrete roots that literally give you a firm understanding of what these words mean. So that word for love, it's ahava. Now I want to share this with you. This is something I was studying a while ago. Love Hebraically has nothing to do with emotions. It's all about action and decision, right? You make a decision to look towards the house, right? That's not something that's done based out of an emotion. It's something that's done based out of a decision. It should all take you back to covenant, right? Yah provides for us. So if we love him, we ahav him, right? We ahavah him, right? We will provide for his house. So it's a bigger picture than you just providing for your family, for your immediate house. It's the idea of there not being any lack within the house. So if we have brothers or sisters that are in need, and we really have the Ruach, we should be looking to see what we can do to help our brothers and sisters who are in need in the house, right? It's not just about us. It's a family thing. Now, I want to say this too. A person who is lawless, a person who has no regard for understanding how to keep Yahuwah's instruction, which is his Torah, that type of person does not love Yah. They actually hate Yah. They separate themselves from Yahuwah. I don't really have time to go into that definition today, but the idea of Hebraic hate, which I have several videos talking about that going back, months ago. When a person hates somebody, they separate themselves from that person. Again, it's not really an emotional thing. Yeah, you got hate groups, KKK, and these neo-Nazi militias that hate black people, and Ashkenazis and Arabs, and but again, that's emotional hate. That's more blatant. Of course, it's wicked as well. But the Hebraic idea of hate, you got to understand this. It is not emotion based. It's not emotional, right? It's action based. It's decisional. It's intentional, right? Now, there are tons of people who claim all day up and down they love Yah, right? And then some people who they don't call him Yah, they still want to call him God for some reason, even though we know his name is Yah. I love God, but it's like in your actions and in your decisions, you're not looking towards him. You're not looking towards Torah. You're not looking towards getting understanding of how to keep his commandments, how to follow his son Yahusha, right? Who said what? Don't think that I've come to destroy the Torah, but I've come to fulfill it, which really means he came to magnify it, to esteem it, right? So one who really loves Yah is going to do everything in their power every day to hear from him. You're going to be in your word every day. You're going to be in his word, I should say, every day. You're going to utilize the resources. If somebody presents you with some information, you're not going to just disregard it, right? You're going to seek the Father on if these things are true or not. And if they are true, you are going to adhere to them and follow, right? How do you think the Talmudim or the disciples started following Mashiach, right? He spoke a word to them and the Ruach confirmed it to them and they followed, right? And watch this. All of them had an understanding of Torah. So again, I just want to put this out here, man. Hebraic love is not what they teach you in them church. Get out of them. Get away from them churches. Get away from the Greek and English idea of what love is, and understand that it is not an emotional thing. It's a decision that you make to look towards Yahuwah, to look towards his bet, to look towards what is actually taught in his Bible and not what's taught in paganism. So, and understand too, the words that are given from true prophets, they're given out of love. It also means to admonish your brother or your sister. What does that mean, to admonish? It means to point them in the direction of Yahuwah. So if they come and they ask you a question about something, you don't lie to them. You don't tell them what feels good or what sounds good. Again, it's not an emotional thing. You tell them the truth that is going to keep them in the bet. That's going to point them towards the house of Yahuwah, right? Which is keeping his commandments. And the last thing I'm going to say on this is, if people in the world, parents, households in the world, a lot of these people may or may not believe in the Bible. Most of them don't. Most of them don't follow Torah, but I'm just saying in general. If they have rules for their children and for their house, curfews, chores for their kids to do, grades that they want their kids to get, people that they want their children to not hang around, right? Video games that they may or may not want their children to play in, times where they got to go to bed, times that they got to get up in the morning. You feel me? Extracurricular activities that they make their kids make. These are household rules that kids, for the most part, again, and this could be for a family in truth or a family outside of truth. But if people in the natural, if parents in the natural realm can have household rules for their children, why would the Most High Yah not have household rules for his sheep, for his people? Think about it. And those rules go back to the laws, statutes, and commandments that were given, which Mashiach tells you himself, think not that I have come to destroy these rules, but I've come to fulfill them. I've come to magnify them, right? It says in 1 John, he said, if a person tells you that they love Yah, but they're still in transgression, they're still in sin, that person is a liar and the truth is not in them. So understand, love is not emotional. It's a decision. Shalom.